There's a place in the Midwest, 50 miles southeast of Chicago, nestled near the coast of Lake Michigan. It's a place driven by what's coming next, a place where industry is the lifeblood of its community, and its pulse is gritted with sand and steel, fire and smoke. It's a city building its future together, one business, one family, and one home at a time. This is a place for makers, doers, and dreamers. It's where the global marketplace meets hometown values, where Americana isn't just a tradition, it's a way of life. Here, your experience makes the difference. With access to railroads, major waterways, and 8 different highways, this is a place in...
Yeah. That was outstanding. All right, well, you know what? It's 4:30 somewhere. It's 4:30 here in Portage. So we'll go ahead and call this meeting of the Portage Economic Development Commission meeting to order. Would you please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Once again, I'm Dan Bartnicki, the legal counsel for the Economic Development Commission. I'll go ahead and call the roll. Member McDaniel. Here. Member Lindgren. Here. And Member Cannon contacted me earlier today. He was not able to make it. Okay, and we do not need to do the organization and voting for offices. Sorry, I forgot to pull that off the agenda. Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah. We do. Actually, a comment about streaming. Because the Economic Development Commission does meet in the city council chambers and the technology exists, that's actually one of the newer rules, is that if you meet in the meeting with the technology, you stream the meetings. So we are now streaming these meetings as well. So we do have, under old business, I circulated the minutes from the June 18th, 2026 meeting. Have the members had a chance to review those, and are there any motions or comments?
I'll make a motion to approve. I'll second that motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye.
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 I have heard 2 ayes. So that's a 2-0 approval. Okay, and then we do have new business. This late afternoon, we are having the public hearing and consideration for adoption. These are the 2 projects that Mr. Dan Bowditch spoke about last meeting. The Simon CRE Development Company has 2 projects here in town, the Southeast Project and the Southwest Project. These are commonly referred to as the new Target and the new BJ's Warehouse. So there are proposed to be some bonds, some development bonds associated with these. So that was also distributed. The information behind these were distributed in your packets. So we're going to take the Simon Southeast project first. So for your review and consideration are findings of fact, a separate economic development report, and then the resolution. This is resolution 26-07, the Portage Economic Development Commission resolution approving issuance of bonds and other actions in respect thereto, the Simon Southeast project. So were there any questions about the paperwork, about the findings of fact, the report, or the resolution? Okay. All right, then having no discussion, I will now officially open this meeting for the public hearing on the Simon Southeast project. Is there anyone here from the public to speak on the Simon Southeast project? Is there anyone here from the public to speak on the Simon Southeast project? Is there anyone here from the public to speak on the Simon Southeast project? Hearing and seeing no members of the public to speak, members, having looked over and considered these, I believe that since we're going to take these as 2 projects, we're going to just do one vote for all 3, the findings of fact, the report, and the resolution. I believe you could make a motion to approve or amend or whatever you want to do, all 3 at the same time.
I'll make a motion to approve Simon Southeast project
the findings of fact, the report, and the resolution.
Okay.
I second that.
Okay, with a motion and a second. Members, all those in favor of adopting the consideration, adopting the findings of fact, the report, and the resolution number 2607 for Simon Southeast Project, please signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, I heard 2 ayes. That passed. All 3 passed 2-0. All right, and then moving to the Simon Southwest Project, again, we have the findings of fact, the report, and Resolution 26-08, approving the bonds for the Simon Southwest Project. Just a final comment. Again, the city council votes on these. This is just your recommendation to the city council. Again, we talked about this last meeting, but are there any questions on this project from the members?
No.
Okay. Are there any members of the public here to speak on the Simon Southwest Project? Are there any members here from the public to speak on the Simon Southwest Project? Are there any members from the public here to speak on the Simon Southwest Project? Hearing none, we will close the public hearing. And members, are there any motions?
I'll make a motion that we approve Simon Southwest Project, the findings of fact, the report, and the resolution.
Okay, is there a second?
Second?
All right. We have a motion and a second. If members, if you're in favor of the motion on the floor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, I heard 2, and since there's no one else there, that passes 2-0. I do have a comment. As background documentation, which was also circulated, the trust indenture documents are going to be attached to the meetings of the minutes of the meeting. That is something that bond counsel also prepares. That was circulated, but it's not something that you have to vote on. It's just the background calculations for the bond. So those are going to be attached to the meeting minutes and were circulated. But so that's all. The final thing that I did want to bring up, it seems like the Economic Development Commission, this is now the 3rd time we've met this year. Is there a time that you'd like to set for these meetings? And then we know that they're on the calendar, because I think there are some additional economic development projects that may need a development agreement approved or other bond issues. So if we have a set time, we'll know when we're meeting. And I can alert bond counsel when we're meeting. I can also alert the redevelopment commission when we meet, so that paperwork can be prepared. Instead of meeting on an as-needed basis as we have, we could set like a monthly time and just say, this is when we meet. So is there a specific time that works better for the 2 of you?
Would having it on the same day as redevelopment commission not work because of paperwork and getting everything ready to take to the redevelopment commission?
I think it would actually work pretty well, because a lot of the redevelopment staff, they prepare and tend to pass the same style of resolutions. So having all the members together, having all those people together on the same day might give us a little bit of economies of scale.
And we also have Z.
Yeah, and yeah, our technology crew will be here, because the plan commission is later today. That's why this time worked out pretty well. But I mean, going back to back with redevelopment commission could work quite well.
Yeah, could we do 4 o'clock on the 4th Thursday of the month?
Yeah, I think that could work. And then anytime we don't have things, we would just cancel the meeting. I mean, I'll reach out to Member Cannon and, see if that would work. I'm not sure what his work schedule is, but we could certainly try and match up with redevelopment commission. So, redevelopment commission is fourth Thursday.
My only concern would be is if they have an executive session prior to, many times we do it at 4 o'clock.
Okay. So that's one possibility. Again, this commission really only deals with, development bonding and economic development agreements. So, we may not have too many times where it overlaps, but we could certainly try to match up with them. I mean, we could set that up and then see how that works. It's as good a time as any, as far as I'm concerned.
I think it would
Yeah.
be good.
Okay. All right, well, you know what? We'll,
And also, Dan Bodish could be here. He's generally here on those days.
I was also thinking that because he's in the middle of a lot of these bond issues, so it could definitely be, again, economies of scale. If he's in the building, great to have him here to also go over some of these, like he did last time,
Yes.
which, I mean, set things up for this meeting well, I thought.
So redevelopment commission starts at 4:30. Do we want to start at 4?
I was thinking 4 o'clock, because these meetings tend to go pretty quickly, because you've already looked over all the documents, from bond council, or the economic development agreements that come through, like, weeks ahead. So, okay, well, we'll look for Thursday at 4 PM. We may not need to do a July, but we'll see what comes through, what gets sent my way. But, yeah, I will reach out to Member Cannon and suggest that time. I'll start, I'll do an email chain to the three of you to see if that'll work, but I know it works for the three of us. All right. Are there any other matters to discuss?
Nope.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor of adjournment?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. We are adjourned. Thank you, Z.